Hi, my name is Israel Gia and welcome back to Coetus. So, as we are all called to grow in our faith, we are also called to love God. In order to love a person, we must also know the person. So the same thing goes with God. Part of loving God is knowing Him. But who is God? First, let's start with the fact that there is only one God. According to the book of Deuteronomy, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might." Faith in one God moves us to return to Him like to Him, who is our first cause and our final end, and to give Him preference over all things. We also know God as the Supreme Being, and when we say Supreme Being, there is no such thing as multiple Supreme Beings. As Saint Athanasius once said, to speak of several equally powerful gods is like speaking of several equally powerless gods. Then we go to the name of God. What is the name of God? In order to know God's name, we must go back to the time of Moses when God introduced Himself. And God said to Moses, "I am who I am." This, He added, is what you must say to the sons of Israel. "I am has sent me to you." Moses wanted to know the name of God when contemplating the burning bush on Mount Sinai. And God revealed His name to him, "I am who I am," or "I am who am." So God is He who is, or Yahweh in Hebrew. And according to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the revelation of the ineffable name, "I am who am," contains the truth that God alone is. The Greek Septuagint translation of the Hebrew Scriptures, and following it, the Church's tradition, understood the divine name in this sense: God is the fullness of being, and of every perfection, without origin and without end. All creatures receive all that they are and have from Him, and He alone is His very being, and He is of Himself everything that He is. And according to St. Thomas Aquinas, God is not a being. Yes, we call Him the Supreme Being, but that doesn't mean that God is a thing among many. God is not en summum. God is ipsum esse subsistens, the sheer act of to be itself. God is being itself, and in Him we live and move and have our being. And since God is who is, then it is also reasonable to say that God is not just truthful. God Himself is truth. The more we draw ourselves to God, the more we are drawn closer to truth, for He Himself is truth. And according to the first letter of St. John, this is what we have heard from Him, and the message that we are announcing to you: God is light. There is no darkness in Him at all. And God Himself is love. Anyone who fails to love can never have known God, because God is love. So since we believe in God, it is reasonable to say that we are all called to know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him all the rest of our lives. So the question is this: do we entrust ourselves to God? Do we allow God to fill up our lives? Do we live our lives in full thanksgiving? Do we serve God first? Let us now turn to what Saint Teresa of Avila once said: "Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. All things are passing away, God never changes. Patience obtains all things. Whoever has God lacks nothing. Solo Dios basta. God alone suffices. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So kindly please like, subscribe, and check for more videos right over here. Yeah, click on those links. And I'll see you again on the next video.